this could be leading to an actual real war between TKO and WWE. Of course, with CM Punk talking about lowering the ticket prices. The crowd popped for that. Hell, I did myself. But then even calling out Pat McAfee, calling him, a hillbilly, all this, that, and the third. I said, all right, we talking about Pat McAfee. This seems like he's going a little bit farther than we think. We'll see what happens with that. Then we flash forward, man. All right. And we gonna talk about some BS going on off of rip. I guess we're gonna talk about this. We had Austin Theory beating LA Knight. Okay. Now the reason how all this happened, Speed was out there, sitting there, he really wasn't even trying to get involved. But apparently, with all the missing, all the mishap and all the craziness going on, gets LA Knight distracted. Austin Theory hits LA Knight with a rolling up pin. And honestly, this leads to Adam Pearce coming out. Okay, because LA Knight was on the mic talking about he wants to have all three men in the tag team. I said, "Come on, LA Knight. I know for that." Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but this. I said, "Come on, LA Knight, for real, bro. This is what they got my man LA Knight doing." Man, we didn't. I hate to even say this, but man, I feel like they done stomped my man LA Knight down so low. You out here doing a match with the celebrity. You know what? I ain't even going. You know what? Let me go ahead and continue because I ain't even gonna keep saying it. But Adam Pearce, okay, coming out. All right, he comes out. He told Speed, "Look, you should have stayed home. I told you should have stayed home. I'm gonna make this a match, a 6-man match. Austin Theory, Logan Paul, The Vision, and Speed going up against LA Knight and the Usos at WrestleMania." So we'll see what happens with that, man. I don't know, man. That to me just wasn't even a, a legit build up, but we'll talk about that. Then we flash forward to AJ Lee and the man, Becky Lynch. Now I thought what was crazy, AJ Lee starting off the interview with Michael Cole. What I loved about this man was the man coming in and just immediately telling Michael Cole, you've been terrible at your job for years. I said, "Becky, you ain't tell a damn lie." I said, you for damn sure right about that. I said, because you sitting there, you talking some real truth right here. Mike, I've been saying this, mama. I love Michael Cole, but low key, yeah. Low key been trash. And I said, ain't nobody gonna say it. But if anybody gonna say it, it's gotta be the man, Becky Lynch. Keep talking that talk, Becky. But what I loved about this, AJ Lee, of course, the most I loved about this was really Becky. AJ Lee talking about, I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. I'm going to embarrass you at WrestleMania. I'm going to show you that I am the best and why I am the best and why I'm better than you. I said, whatever, AJ. At this point, dude, look, just have your match so Becky can just get this title back from you and we can see some real women get crazy in the ring. Then we flash forward. Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. Now, what I thought was crazy about this, of course, we're talking about a really quick 2-week, barely 2.5-week build up with this. Okay. Seth Rollins at this point talking about Gunther, talking about, you're not the ring general, all this, that, and the third. I said, all right, Seth, I feel that. Okay. He starts talking that talk. Crowd starts getting a little rowdy. Of course, we know if you're a watcher, somebody's coming out. And of course, it was Gunther trying to hit a headlock on Seth, but Seth immediately came out of it and literally, got Gunther in a headlock. I said, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Of course, Gunther escapes, gets out, but then flash forward to Gunther backstage with Paul Heyman doing a bid, talking about, look, appreciate you doing what you did. When people thinking we're working together, I owe you. Paul Heyman telling Gunther you owe him. I said, man, come on, man. How many favors you gonna keep giving out, and it's gonna just keep having you just with your hand just yeah. I just feel like every time when Paul Heyman's giving out favors, this is what it leads to. Just
The
good
low
old.
blow heard round the world.
Come on, bro. I'm telling you. So we're going to see what happens with that, but I'm curious to see where they goes with this. Then we flash forward. Come on, man. You see who it is. Come on, man. The young OG, Javon Evans. Okay. Again, we talking about my man, Javon. Hey, shout out to Big Rob. look, you got greatness with your son. We ain't they ain't not much we got to tell you because we've been told you this. But we have Penta and Javon and Dragon Lee going up against Los Americanos, getting the dub. And honestly, what was crazy, man, this led to Rey Mysterio coming out. And I knew something was up about this because, first of all, you don't have no damn ladder match with 5 people. Let's just get that out the way. Okay. I immediately seen this card. I said, something's wrong about this. Something about this just looks off. Rey Mysterio just magically comes out talking about, look, yeah, I missed last year's WrestleMania. I said, all right, Ray, I get that. I get it. Then he says, I talked to Adam Pierce, and he said, I got a spot in the ladder match. The crowd popped. Nah, bro. We got to talk about this. See, look, this is a damn problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. We're sitting here relying on nostalgia. Nostalgia. You couldn't have a match with just all your young talent, your current talent. We just had to let's bring a Hall of Famer. Let's get another Hall of Famer. This is what we're doing to sell tickets, I guess. Another desperate attempt. First, you get John Cena to host. I said, all right, whatever. I guess you couldn't get enough tickets to get sold, so let's get John Cena to host. Let's see how many times we keep doing this. Then even last night on SmackDown, yeah, Pat McAfee talking about you can get 25% off on night one, all the way till Monday Night Raw coming up. I say y'all are ridiculous. Now we got Rey Mysterio in the ladder match. It's already bad enough. We got the Bellas. In the tag team match, bad enough we got AJ Lee. Okay, having an Intercontinental title match. And I'm gonna keep saying this. It's already bad enough. We got CM Punk in the main event for WrestleMania. I don't give a damn what nobody says. It's bad enough. We nostalgia. That's all we doing. All these young not coming town. We just go ahead, throw in a Hall of Famer, throw in somebody from the 2010s, go ahead, somebody from the '03 class. Another example. I mean, again, it's going to be needed for the ruler, but even Brock Lesnar. Come on. This is crazy. We couldn't keep this current at all. We just had to keep. Come on. Come on, Rey Mysterio, come on. We know it's going to sell some tickets. Go ahead, come on, yeah, let's get Rey Mysterio. Yeah, come on. People love Rey. 619, right? 619, yeah, booyaka. Ridiculous. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
It's again, it goes back to, what we kind of been discussing for the past couple of years, and it's not, in my mind, hard to really understand or see. We talked back when it first started happening. TKO took over, and we had the initial WrestleMania where they started talking about like ticket sales and how much people were paying for seats and things of that nature. And we said then, it's great for WWE at this moment in time that they were able to have a WrestleMania where they were selling tickets, at the price that they were selling them. And I know the product was hot then because you had The Rock back. They had such a great storyline going with Cody Rhodes and his chase for the title. And then, the whole thing between Roman Reigns and his run as the tribal chief being so over. And I think Rock said it best when he said, we made wrestling cool again. And so that was where they capitalized on in that time for WrestleMania for those types of ticket prices. But it was going to be very difficult to sustain. I go back to my argument of, the prices that they are charging for WrestleMania really will price out those that are the more diehard fans that watch the product on a consistent basis, really takes in the history of it and the stories behind all of the matches, as you so eloquently put all the time, Eric, about flashbacks to this and flashbacks to this, because those things have been with you and stuck with you from the time you started watching wrestling at whatever age that was, from let's just say the early 2000s all the way to now. And then you have fans that got into it because, hey, The Rock is back and, and wrestling, and They're doing some cool thing with Cody Rhodes, and so they're the more casual, like, oh, I watch it every now and again or whatever. The whole point of what I'm trying to say is that wrestling, as we know, and especially with the way that they've been treating it over the last couple of years with Unreal and everything, is a product that is entertainment, right? And it's entertainment, and it's not something that's a real competitive sport per se. Like, it is sport, but when you're talking about $30,000 to watch a match that the winner is already picked, and it's just a dance to get you there, versus something like I keep saying, pay $20,000 or $30,000 to watch the Super Bowl. We're talking about two completely different things, right? And so I really think WWE, in their attempt to really compete with stuff like the NFL, like the NBA, like NHL, MLB, all of that type of stuff, really got too big for their britches in my mind. And they really tried to push their product into that hemisphere of being able to charge people for, for tickets for WrestleMania and those types of seats. And eventually it's going to catch up with you, and it's catching up with them this year. I caught up with them last year, honestly. But it's really hitting them hard this year, because people are just not able to be able to afford to spend 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever $1,000 for a seat at WrestleMania. And that's just a lot of money. That's a brand new vehicle. For some people, that's a house. It's a lot. That's a lot you're asking for 1 or 2 nights of wrestling. And so, like I said, now the casual, or the more hardcore fans have been priced out. And now you're offering 25% off of tickets, and that's still not enough to get the hardcore fan to probably go and say, I'm going to buy me a ticket to WrestleMania, because your ticket prices already start in the thousands of dollars. So it's just sad. And I know that they're doing everything they can. I feel bad for, the talent. I understand this is a business. TKO wants to squeeze every dollar they can out of, this profession and out of this business. They're not wrestling, like the owners of it. They're not wrestling fans per se, or wrestling hardcore, owners or whatever. And so this is just a business to them. It's about, I want it to make and get as much money out of it and out of the people as possible. And I don't really care the impacts that it has, as it kind of, goes out, over time. And so I just feel bad. You can bring John Cena back. You can bring Rey Mysterio back. You can bring CM Punk back. You can bring the Tribal Chief back. Hell, you can bring the Undertaker back. I don't think it's enough. It's not enough. And it's not going to be enough. And you have just, at this point, you've gotten rid of your hardcore fans. And so, like I said, and then also you talk about how they've stretched the fandom across multiple platforms. You got to either have Netflix, you got to have ESPN, you got to have Peacock. Well, you used to have Peacock. And so
thank
all
God
of that
YouTube
stuff,
is free.
and thank God for now, YouTube is free until they get another suitor.
Yeah.
They'll take that away. And so it's a lot. It's a lot going on. And I just think they need to get it under control and get it to settle down. When you get to what you talk about as far as Monday night goes, I don't know what's going on, but I am just shocked that 2 weeks in a row they have allowed like these types of conversations, what CM Punk did as far as the pipe bomb, if that's what we want to call it, about them lowering ticket prices and all of that type of stuff. It's to me, it's all hypocrisy. CM Punk is claiming he's calling out Roman Reigns, but he's also the same person benefiting from these ticket prices. He's benefiting from the shows in Saudi Arabia that he talked about and discussed when he wasn't part of WWE. He's said it from the time he came back. He came back for the money to get rich. So so it's rich coming from him. The way that he's trying to make it sound like he's fighting for the little guy, fighting for the families, or he's the champion of the cause. He's not. He's exactly what he is, corporate Phil, and he's being paid with corporate money, and he's doing things that corporate Phil, the previous CM Punk claimed he would not do. So I don't view him as my savior of wrestling or my champion of wrestling, but he still is an entertaining wrestler. And that's what I watch wrestling for, is for the entertainment of it. but I did like the promo that he was able to cut. As far as some of the things that he said, I thought there was some good takedowns to Roman. I'm interested to see how Roman responds, and I'm talking about this from an entertainment perspective, not of like, oh, he's speaking the truth. No, just entertainment purposes. What is Roman's comeback from this? We saw what Pat McAfee had to say, and then outside of that, Monday Night Raw was its usual. It was just stale. It was dull. It was boring. Some things that didn't make sense. They just kind of made happen. I understand, like with Rey Mysterio, being involved in the ladder match, being thrown in there. It's like, okay, I'm not mad about it. It's Rey Mysterio. At one point in time, he was one of my favorite wrestlers in the world when he was in WCW. I loved Rey Mysterio. And so it doesn't bother me. It's just like, it's just another thing that just doesn't make sense, but we're just doing it. And it's just like, okay, well, it's Rey Mysterio, I guess. And you just move on. My last thing I want to say
is crazy.
Exactly. My last thing that I want to say is, like you talked about when you talk about the match cards, how it's all nostalgia and it's all like these older wrestlers or old school wrestlers, however you want to say it. Let's just say wrestlers from back in the early 2000s that are carrying early to mid 2000s that is now carrying WrestleMania this year forward. The most exciting match out of all of that is what's happening between a young and up and comer in the Ruler, Obafemi, Brock Lesnar. These two have seemed to capture what the WrestleMania feel should be like for a WrestleMania build to a match. And I'm more excited. Like I am in such excitement and anticipation for that match than any other match on the card. And every week they seem to just do it right as far as giving you just enough to say, let them go. I want a little bit more. I want a little bit more. And that's what you want to be doing leading into WrestleMania. And I'm not sure I'm getting that feeling across some of the other match cards that they, matches that they're prepping for the card. But I want to give Brock and Oba credit. For some reason, them two together are just making magic. It's just chemistry. There's something there. I love the way that brawl went down, even though we didn't get to see all of it. It got cut off, but we caught a little bit of it. And if you watched SmackDown yesterday, they kind of showed you what happened when it went off air. Phenomenal work there.
Yeah, man. Dave, what's your thoughts, girl? What you think?
Trash. All of it trash. And I'm just gonna everything that y'all said, and I'm just gonna wrap it up in a pretty bow. For somebody that just started watching wrestling over a year and a half ago, I'm not excited for WrestleMania. The only thing that I'm excited for is Oba and Brock. That's it. Everything else, I'm not. So it all goes back to y'all storytelling. Are y'all diverse enough in that creators room? No, you're not. What y'all are doing is not working. And in order for you to have excitement, you should have some type of little level of excitement to be like, ooh, okay, I done had a rough day at work. Let me decompress and watch either Raw or SmackDown. And I keep this date lives rent free in my head. I have been disappointed since March 27th, 2026. Yes. So what are you going to do? And lowering the ticket prices, what's that going to do?
For a bad show.
You need to fix what is broken, the storylines. And I've peeked and watched like old stuff. Hubby has been showing me old stuff. Like, why don't y'all do what they did long ago? He showed me what was it? Stone Cold Austin and
Please say Bret Hart.
No, not that one. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't.
Shawn Michaels, maybe?
Not Shawn Michaels. I'm trying to think. Well, they were in the supermarket. That one. I can't think.
Oh, Booker
T.
Booker T. It was on the tip of my tongue and I couldn't. That was hilarious to me. Yeah. Why don't y'all do more of that?
You know what's crazy, Diva? If they do it, they gonna try to just copy and paste exactly how it would be. Because That is one thing about them. They love to copy and paste. Like back in those, like that time, there was a lot of stuff we was never seeing before. Different stuff. They don't got that same creative bone in that body. Like they, a lot of them in that writers' room is washed the hell up, especially Bruce Richards. And I've been
Yikes.
saying that.
It's
Michael
something
And
Hayes, you're
I'm
trash too.
and
something
I
is
know
gonna have to give. Like it's not. I'm not. The only thing again that I'm excited for is over. That's it, and Brock. That's it.
yeah,
Maybe a little bit of Roman Reigns because that's my guy, and
Evan
that's
White,
it.
he's Roman Reigns, yeah.
That's
I want a quick, just a quick thing, like for y'all opinion. And I know we're going to sidetrack us just a little bit because I know we constantly talk about it's broken and that the machine is broken for WWE right now as far as this build up to WrestleMania. And what could they possibly do or like going forward? Like I know we talk about changes in the writers' room, but what do you guys have a feel for what is actually missing from these shows, Monday Night Raw, from SmackDown, in a sense that we have stars, like they have the stars in place. What do you want from the stories? What type of storylines are you looking to see them like create or build or write that you think would bring people and interest back into the product, whether it be Raw, whether it be SmackDown, and going into these PLEs?
it should be a shock factor for one. It should be like, oh snap, you did, and leave us on a cliff. Like people, stuff is happening. We don't know what's happening. Oh, well, you got to watch. You're gonna have to wait till next week. That is good, and then good storytelling. Some stuff, or I'm like, okay, y'all say stuff and do stuff, or have the talent do stuff, and then you just abandon it. Well, what happened to it? And
Yeah.
then you'll wait maybe a year or two, or even you won't even revisit it. So good storytelling and
Yeah,
diversity.
And it's funny you
yeah.
say that really quick. Just a quick thing to your point. I still think about the Bailey thing. At one point, she was supposed to be having like multiple personalities. They
Right.
have just completely gone away
They
from
just,
that,
yep.
and nothing ever came of that. I'm
And
sorry.
what we call that all the time, that
I'll
start and
stop.
stop. They
Yeah.
just
All
they
right. So
don't know what they're doing.
what do you think, E? Like if
I
they put you in front of as head of creative right now, like
mhm.
what would your ideas be to kind of change it up and spice things up in for shows?
And I think honestly, first thing I would try to work with the wrestlers. I think that's one key thing that is missing in that writers room. Them not actually working with the wrestlers. Like
Mm,
because it's just you can be a writer and I feel like yeah, you can write the story, but you just give the wrestler the script or you just tell them, yeah, this is what it is. I don't feel like, and I feel like that's why some of the promos come off the way they do. Because if you don't have like the wrestlers that are involved in that segment, in that match or whatever, during that time, I feel like you can't really perfect what that moment could be like. Um, because again, like if you writing a promo for wrestling, a wrestler's just reading it, it's like that, like, all right. But I feel like if you write it for the wrestler and then you're explaining it and then y'all are kind of practicing through it, like to kind of give that delivery a little bit better, I think
Or
that could
include
also
them.
help.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
include them in their ideas,
Yeah.
because what you put on paper that might not connect to them. Act it out. They'll go through the motions and be like, well, wait a minute. Because again, the wrestlers are playing a character. Let them give you some input, and then that'll make it more cohesive and it doesn't come off so scripted or it doesn't fit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, like, especially I think now with the storylines, I feel like I agree with Ashley. Ashley was one of the because I said I 100% agree. You need more diverse people. You have probably one of the largest rosters. I said maybe I would put you first, but I could damn near almost call y'all second because the roster that AEW got is insane. So I probably put y'all still at number one because of how many damn brands y'all got, whether it's LFG, Evolve, NXT, Raw, SmackDown. Hell, I ain't even count the WWE ID, what y'all doing with all the indie people from there. But you would think with all the roster of people, I would just think, man, y'all have got to go through with the actual storylines. Stop trying to build something, and then when you build it, you're like, well, no, you like. I think that's the biggest one of my biggest things I would probably not do is immediately start something and then stop it right before we even get going. Or I think a biggest one of the biggest things, especially with title reigns, make the title reigns mean something. And you don't always have to do, a crazy, it don't have to always be a year, but give it a good length. Pause. You give it about a good 6 months, 5 months, 7 months. Hell, sometimes even 4 months can really make a difference and really build up that star to go to the next level. Hell, you could have did that with Jey Uso when he first had the IC title, but you took it away so fast, and then you gave it back. And then, that hot potato BS y'all do with the titles is crazy. You have somebody like you take a title off somebody who has a long title reign just to give it to somebody for about 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, and then you put it back on the person that had the longest title reign. For what? For what? Y'all did it to Obafemi. Y'all did it to JC Jane. I said, well, this make no damn sense. You did it to Jay. Hell, you did it to, let me see, who else was in this? You did it to Cody. Hate to even bring this man up, but you did it to him. Had Cody do this long title reign for what? Just to take it off of Drew, have him defend it for a few weeks, damn near a month and a half, 2 months maybe. Then you put it back on Cody for Mania. For what? For what? You did the same thing with Becky. You took the title off of her, put it on Maxine, had her have it for a few weeks, then you put it back on Becky. For what? And then, I wouldn't be surprised if AJ Lee still loses that match. And Becky gets the title back because who had it longer than her? Oh, Becky. Oh, so we take it off, but again, just like you said, John David, the shock factor. But see, that'd be the problem. They be so damn drunk off of the shock factor and the little cheap social media pop, they will not sit there and go through with the whole thing because it's too microwave with them. Even though they want to swear they're doing long-term storytelling, but a lot of this pivoting and all this stuff y'all doing, it's microwave. Y'all are doing this for the cheap little pops. Y'all doing this for the cheap little reactions. But then us as the hardcore fans are still saying, well, what was the point in that? Matter of fact, another perfect example, when the Judgment Day had the tag titles, and then you had Cody and Jay take the titles off them for like a month, just to put it back on the Judgment Day on SmackDown. Come on. Y'all are notorious for this. But yeah,
I Zelina in there, which is another one.
Yeah.
And then Sosa just said, look, it's too much to type.
Too much to type. Yeah, come on. So I already knew.
I'm not going to start. I'm not going to try.
Yeah, no, but you're right, actually, yeah.
No, I agree. I think one of the biggest Achilles heels right now and is the like you said, the microwave pop that they go for right now, especially with social media. And I think that is why we're seeing so many celebrities kind of be a part of what they're doing, from Jelly Roll to Astro Speed, because we know what happened last year at WrestleMania, how it went viral because, or not WrestleMania, but what was it? Was it Royal Rumble or was it WrestleMania? It was Show Speed where he got speared by
the Royal Rumble,
Rumble. So and so how they talk about how viral that is, and so now they're bringing him back, and he's going to be part of WrestleMania. I'm sure it's going to be for another viral moment that they're going to try to achieve with that, and it's just not there for, like you say, the more hardcore wrestling fans. It's like, okay, it's cool to see Jelly Roll if you're casual, but if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, like, you probably don't want to see Jelly Roll involved in a storyline in wrestling, or I Show Speed involved in a storyline in wrestling for WrestleMania per se. And so I think, that's another thing of them like constantly looking for that social media relevancy. Which I don't believe the WWE needs to even concern themselves with per se, because they're already the biggest wrestling brand there is in the world as far as them being recognizable. So I just feel like that stuff will come to them organically just through great stories and being able. Little Yachty, yep,
yeah,
him being involved
with
everything. That's so unnecessary.
Now, what Little Yachty, what I will give him some credit for as far as him being involved is he's actually pretty decent on like delivering his lines and not really fumbling and messing up too much.
Yeah.
Although he did do something like drop the mic yesterday
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
and had to find it. But as far as being on the mic, he's one of the more natural ones I've seen compared to some of the other people. Jelly Roll does a great job delivering his lines that he has to deliver for wrestlers too. But as far as Little Yachty actually being involved, no, I don't. It doesn't bring anything more to Trick, and it doesn't bring anything more to Sammy, and it doesn't bring anything more to their match. That they're gonna have for WrestleMania. At this point, it's just that added celebrity that just to try to make it seem like it's more there than what it needs to be, when they already had a nice feud going from the time Trick entered the WWE. Sami Zayn was the first person he interrupted in the middle of a speech talking about his desire to become the WWE champion. Trick Williams interrupted that, and that kind of has already started that feud and the path they've gone down the entire time. So I don't think Little Yachty adds to it. It's just, and the ad libs just take away from the greatness that Booker had already given it.
Come on, bro. I said, if anybody gonna come out there with him, it ought to be Booker.
Have Booker, yeah. But it is what it is.
Change up the ad libs. Stop saying what, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's about 5-6 weeks. Come on. What? What? I'm like, yo. And I'm a Yachty fan, so it'd be kind of crazy when they be doing this. I'm like, bro, there's much other things you be doing and saying. Come on, bro. I need.
You can tell they're pretty close,
Yeah.
Him and Trick.
Yeah, but Trick always been known for being in around, he used to be a lot of battle rappers. He'd be like you'll see him on Smack You All Rail. You'll seeing Trick. This is like NXT, but that was that was when it was Hollywood Trick. Being in the background.
When he was two brand Trick.
Brand Trick, first class Trick. Trick and A. Come on now.
All right, let's get back into the show. I'm sorry I had to derail us, guys. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Because
I hate talking bad about the product without actually trying to offer some actual feedback or something constructive to say what could be done better.
Yeah, and of course they're gonna say, "Well, you guys are fans. What do you know?" I mean, I don't know. You tell me.
Well, you want our money. They want our money.
I hate that. Yeah, I really do hate that, because I think you and I had that conversation before about them, and you're right, Diva, but about that type of comment. As a consumer, I still am entitled to my opinion on a product as a consumer. I'm like, just because you're the master chef doesn't mean that when I put your food in my mouth and I say this tastes bad, have that sound, pause if it needs to
pause. That was kind of crazy.
But when I put your food in my mouth and I say, look, this tastes bad, or it's not, doesn't do it for me, you can't say, well, I don't know anything about food, or I know nothing, just because I don't have the master chef credentials. I know this doesn't taste bad. I don't like it. Something's not right with it. It doesn't fit my palate. And as the consumer and as the person giving my money, I have the right to say that and criticize the food. I hate when they get the shut your mouth and just accept the product for what it is, because we are the professionals. We know better than you. And that's not the case. It's not the case. You can be very educated in a topic or in a whatever, and as a consumer, and you just may not have actually been in the ring and felt the bumps and all of that type of stuff. But it doesn't mean you don't have an opinion to say, hey, look, this is not good. There's something missing here. There's an ingredient missing. Need some salt. Need some pepper. Pinch of basil. Whatever. We need to get it. Whatever.
But if they listened, they truly listened, then they would be off the charts.
Yep.
They would be off the charts. You have to listen to your fans. You have to listen to your customer. Oh my God, I'm talking like I'm at work. You have to listen you have to listen to your customer. Now, is everything they're going to do going to be perfect? No. But if the majority of us are saying it's storytelling, what else is it for you to do? Because you're trash now. What is it? What will it be for you to hurt to try?
Yeah.
Something different. Let's try something different. Hell,
you can't just say ignore the fans.
Let a fan write the storyline. Somebody that's on a podcast, let them take the storyline, and then let somebody else come in and pick up the story. See where it goes. See how crazy it is.
No bull.
But
No
you know
ball.
that you can't just say you hate fans hijacking creative, and then just try to ignore them. That's the thing. They don't want to do that. They
Triple H,
don't, because they don't feel like they don't want to give the power to like the fans, even though that's what they say when they're out there on the mic. You know, it's you people that control it, but it's not. It's an illusion.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just I just don't get it. Like I'll tell you, they listen to fans. They listen to the damn bots. That's who they listen to. They listen to the damn bots. Because some of the stuff I be saying, I'm like, ain't no way y'all say this was a great show. I'm like, who is saying this?
Deshaun, welcome to the show, but I hope you are incorrect.
Yeah, exactly.
If he lose, I'm throwing.
Oba needs that
where I'm
W.
at.
I want Oba to have that W. Yeah, it cannot stand.
Yeah, no, they can't.
Unless they got something major planned for like a future like comeback of Oba. Like there's a long-term storytelling that's going to take place, and I doubt it.
Yeah. We're gonna finish up, bro. There ain't too much left that we gotta really talk about. Let's go ahead and just get right into this real quick. After Rey Mysterio talking about he going to Mania, I said, all right, whatever, you do what you want to do. Then after this, we flash forward. We had, EO going up against B-Fab. You know how it was. I mean, honestly, B-Fab, honestly, I love B-Fab to death, but, we'll see what happens with her. But EO getting the roll-up pin, Jade and Michin. You see what was going on with that, okay? You see what was happening. All right, Jade literally beating the hell out of EO Sky, B-Fab, Michin, holding Rhea Ripley to the corner of the ring post for her to watch EO get beat by the kendo stick. I said, well, all right. But, I mean, in my opinion, it should have been Michin because you the enforcer with the kendo stick. So, I don't know. I guess we ain't going with that move neither. Then we flash forward, of course, to the end of Raw. And this was probably the best part of Raw, no cap. Okay, mind you, we've had this build-up for Mania for the last few weeks. These men have said absolutely nothing to each other. And again, this is the match that we're all looking forward to seeing. That's crazy. Before Oba gets into the ring, Brock Lesnar, low-key already started to try to charge Oba Femi. Didn't work. Oba Femi getting them all, getting Brock, tossing him into the corner ring post. These men took it to the point to where they were sitting there back into the ring. I mean, they had all the security holding them. I mean, Brock Lesnar tossing a whole chair across, Oba throwing it back. Pause. That was insane, by the way. But yeah, Oba throwing the chair back at Brock. And then honestly, this is the finish right here.
Throwing it back to us is insane.
Yeah,
right
that was crazy. I said, jeez.
Deshaun, this right here is for you. This right here is for you. Oba all the way. the ruler all the way.
Put the beads on.
The ruler.
Yes.
Hey, anytime we discuss the ruler, you got to bring out the beads.
Got to.
They are killing it with. That is the one thing I don't. And like you said, it's not much they even have to say. They're not even talking. They're not cutting major promos. It's just entertaining. It's just like this is a big fight feel.
I feel that, Purcell.
Purcell, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
That's crazy. I felt that.
Yeah. But well, for whatever reason, the fandom still goes crazy for everything, every little thing he says and does.
I know.
Even when he's pushing little kids.
That's crazy. They ain't give a damn. No. But yeah, we kind of really talked a lot about Raw. Again, the best part of Raw, I'd probably say few things, and then we're gonna move on. I'm gonna let y'all go, and we're gonna move on to truly the best part of the middle of the week. Well, one of them, because I'd say Dynamite be that. But yeah, few things that I'm gonna talk about, and we just gonna ahead and move on. And ain't shade when you just as bright as a dynamite, No, but few good things that came out of Raw, I will say. The segment with Roxanne, Liv Morgan talking in the back, Liv talking about, where do you stand with this whole thing? We know Finn brought you in. What's going to be your decision? Stephanie Vaquer, La Primera. I mean, apparently now Liv and Roxanne are actually on concussion protocol right now.
Yes.
I mean, that was a hell of a hit. That was hard.
That thing had a heartbeat. That
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hardy, make it feel so weak. Goes,
Yeah.
come on, that's classic right there.
I hear you, E.
Man, come on. But yeah, man, that was a hard plug. I said, damn. But yeah, I'd probably say that was probably one of my favorites. Yeah, sending my kid toss and live into the TV sparks. I said,
Hey, the show must go
okay.
on. I got to
Hey,
give it to him. The show must go on because my girl was definitely knocked out and she picked up and still threw her to the television and Liz still sold it. I said,
I said,
yeah, because
Jesus.
hey, after that head to head, I'd be like, hey, look, hey, time out. I'm down. I'm not getting up.
Throw me eggs, I
Yeah,
can't move.
hey, throw it up there. Hey, they hit hard, and
Yeah.
This is how it
I still
was.
hear the
When they
sound. I
did
still
that, I
hear the
said,
sound.
ooh. I
Ooh,
said,
yeah.
That's like, ooh,
Yep.
damn.
Yeah. But the show must go on.
Must go on. Must go
Hey,
on.
Liv
But
better be
you
winning the
must be
title after
fine
that.
because her and Raquel was somewhere at some game. She all right. She just pulled her bangs down over it.
Yeah. That's all you can do. That big old lump.
Yeah.
That
Woo!
thing. Jesus. Yeah, but yeah, I'd probably say one of my favorite parts of the night. I think Ashley also said it as well. Um, Definitely Oba and Brock.
Over and Brock all
Immediately
day.
was great. CM Punk, I think even with that promo, there was some stuff that I kind of liked about it, but for the most part, I think that's pretty much it for me. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Yeah, just not to be the dead horse. I already shared. I thought Raw was typically dry. Like I said, what CM Punk did, his opening monologue, fine. Because I like to see what Roman will have to say or how he will respond if we get a response from him. I'm just mad that the best part of it was cut off, and that was what was happening between Brock and Obafemi. But that type of stuff is what, like you talk about, Diva, as far as that, like that shot factor, and got to tune in next week to see what happened. Like that's the type of stuff, just a brawl happening and it's going off air, and it's like, no, I need to see what's going on. Who's what? That was dope. That was the exciting part of it. And like I said, I just it just further builds for the anticipation and excitement for that match. And I just can't wait to see, because it's one of these things where the match has this unknown outcome to it, as far as you got a lot of people that still feel like Brock should just win this one because Oba is so new, and then you got the strong Oba support, which in my mind there's no other pick for the victory in this but Oba. But I want to give Brock his credit, because he is definitely selling for Oba and really making it, making Oba seem like a true, like, dominant force that's going to be difficult to overcome. And I think you have to have that. It's like being passed down from him to Oba. That Brock is, what do they call him, the beast incarnate. Now you got the ruler coming in, and I think this is just perfect. They're doing a great job, with this whole build up for this match here.
Yeah,
and you already know Oba's my favorite, so I'm already I'm Team Oba. Anytime you have Oba, I'm there. I'm down.
hey, I feel that one, man. I feel
That's
that
that's my boy. That's my dog.
Same.
Sean Diva, what's your thoughts, girl? What you think?
Trash. That's all I'm gonna say. Trash.
All right. That's good enough. That's
all right.
good
Okay.
enough.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Like, look, you ain't telling a damn lie, Diva. You ain't
I'm
telling a
putting
damn
cases
lie.
on
Oh,
you. 23-hour lockdown. Shoot
Oh
program.
God. Oh, holy man. Come on. Classic, man. But we talked about a lot of the trash things that happened on Monday Night Raw. So now it's time to talk about my man Sean cooking it up with NXT, baby. NXT, come on, man. Come on. NXT. Sean, I ain't got a damn look. My man Sean was on I seen him on Carmelo Anthony's podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Shout out to Mello. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Yeah, man. But look, it was a great interview. I love what he was talking about. How, he was just talking about just him. He actually got a documentary coming out tomorrow, I believe.
Monday.
Yeah. Oh, it's Monday. It's on Monday. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, coming out. Yeah,
The
but he said that
13th.
documentary is supposed to be about him, like just him being like a teacher in NXT. So I can't wait to see that. Really want to see how he really just breaks down a lot of stuff to them. I'm excited to see that. But yeah, man, NXT. This was a special one. This was the NXT episode after Stand and Deliver. And honestly, I ain't even gonna lie, man. They cooked up a whole bunch, Sean. We give you that chef's hat for a reason. Because they kicked this show off, first of all, Tony D'Angelo. Y'all know he ain't the Dom no more. This is just Tony D'Angelo. Love this. Became a Triple Crown champion. Okay. Love what he was talking about. Said he was going to do whatever he had to do to get that title. That wasn't personal. It's just, well, it really was more personal and not business. But what I
And
loved
really
about
quick,
it. Yeah.
really
Yeah.
quick,
Go
E.
ahead.
They
Yeah.
said Tony D became the first Triple Crown champion. I thought it was Joey Gargano, so I was confused at that.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought,
it is. It is Johnny Gargano.
yeah,
It
I said Joey,
is.
Johnny Gargano, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know why they said he's the first Triple Crown. So I was like, am I missing a title? Did I miss something? Did Johnny not win? Because
Yeah,
they
well,
did say that on the
yeah.
show, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I thought Tony D would be the second.
Yeah. I
But
mean, unless
that's
they
neither
would have
here
said
there.
like I feel like they should at least said maybe like a grand slam because he had that cup too. Even they don't really count that no more. But
And
he
maybe
had
that's
that
why
cup.
Did Johnny had a cup? Johnny never had the cup.
No, he never. Yeah, he was gone
Okay.
before they brought
Okay.
that cup back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind. That's probably
Yeah.
why. All right.
So yeah,
I forget
but
about the cup.
I know because they don't give a after Noam Dar
Yeah.
had it. They
Dar
didn't
had
give a
it.
damn
Yeah.
about
I
it.
forgot about the cup. Yeah.
Man,
That makes sense. Okay.
metaphor. It went away right with
That one
metaphor.
went. Yeah.
Yeah, God. Anyway, let's get all right. So yeah, Tony D'Angelo out there was talking and immediately talked about Joe Hendry. You say his name, he appeared, but a few other people came up. You seen the ego, Ethan Page, and Pretty Ricky Saints, because that's what they call him. Okay. Tony D'Angelo talking about it doesn't matter who's coming up against him, he'll take out all of them. He said it'll be at the same time like he did before, it'll be individually. And honestly, man, this just became something that we're going to be seeing for a new pay-per-view that's come. Well, I guess it's not a pay-per-view, a PLA, but for Revenge. That's the new one. I guess if you don't get backlash from the main roster, you get Revenge on NXT. Love how they gave it that name. Then we flash forward. Come on now. Come on now. I love this. I loved everything about this. By the way, with that whole thing going on with, and I'll just go right back to it. The whole thing that was going on with these four men here, Dark State came and attacked all four of them. Okay, but it didn't matter because Tony D'Angelo clean house. That's what he's doing. I don't care. You know what? That's the damn Don still. I'm going to still call him the Don. The hell with it. But what I loved about this, had to flash forward. Okay, and this was a great match. Okay, Izzy Dane going up against Sol Ruka. And what I loved about it, it was Zarya coming out of nowhere and spearing the hell out of Sol. I said, Zarya, this is what I'm talking about. And for that, you just got some damn rock chills. I said, come on, Zarya. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I love to see out of you. I don't got to tell you nothing else no more. You were finally at the level of potential that I knew you could be on. And now that you're doing this to Soul, for a second, I thought you was joining the con. I was like, hey, I ain't mad about that one. But you doing what you're doing to Soul? Yeah, you do that. Now this is what Mr. School was talking about before. Now you can be that nasty heel that you need to be. And I love to see this from you, Zarya. But what I loved about it,
Buck
okay,
nasty.
Izzy Dane, Buck nasty. Come on now. And what I loved about it, Izzy Dane taking advantage of the opportunity. Okay. and hitting her finisher on Soul for her to beat Soul. And honestly, damn.
That's how I feel for Soul.
Same.
Oh God, it's okay, y'all. It's okay. It's okay.
We Soul fans up in cheer.
Hey,
I
I'm
like
a fan of
Zarya
the song.
too, but
I like
love
Zarya
Zarya.
too. I like
Yeah.
Zarya too.
It's just I don't know, man.
But seeing Soul being pinned for the 1, 2, 3, my heart shattered.
Yeah. That
I was
ain't
like,
nothing that's
oh.
too common. Ain't nothing that's never too common seeing from her, man. But then we flash forward. Oh man, look, hey, this was a banger right here. Look, we had Keanu Carver, the crash out, going up against Josh Briggs and Jasper Troy. Now, look, I love this match. I love how everything happened. Keanu Carver got to the point to where he knocked out Jasper Troy out the ring, hitting his finish on Josh Briggs. I said, man, that's what I'm talking about right there. And honestly, with him getting that dub, man, look, sky's the limit for you, bro. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Then we flash forward. Come on now. This was another banger right here. And I really, again, truly enjoyed the wrestling in this match right here. We had Tony D'Angelo, Joe Hendry, Pretty Ricky Saints, and Ethan Page beating Dark State in the 8-man tag match. Honestly, you see how it happened here. I loved everything about this match. This match was great. Honestly, of course, they had to get their get back from them having that attack on them early in the night. And I was all for it. What was crazy, okay? Ethan Page still on the dub, but what was crazy, Tony D'Angelo, okay, hitting his finish, hitting that choke slam on Ethan Page, man. I said, man, Tony, this is why you're dangerous out here.
Forget about it.
love this. Forget about it. Come on now. Then we flash forward. Come on. The birthright, man. The birthright. Okay, even when it came out, I said, man, this is magic. We had
Starboy was dope.
Lexus King. Come on, right? Come on. I
He
thought
was
this
dope.
was great.
Get that man a contract.
Man, I think he got one. I think he got because he been with Evolve. So I think Starboard got. I think he got a contract, boy. Hey, he all right though. Low key, I know he's from California. Right? But low key, like seeing him kind of walk and talk, he literally is like a spawn of Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
I kid you not. Like just how he talks.
Yeah.
Like and all that. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a spawn of Matt Riddle. But I love him though. I think he's good, man. I think he's dope. He's dope.
This was my first time catching him, but I don't know if it's a little bit of a like a nod to Starboy in the Nintendo game from back in the day, but he had a kick. He had a spin kick that he would do, in the game, and he did that in the match. He's to Alexis King, and I'm like Starboy. I wonder if he is a play off of the Starboy from the Nintendo game, which I thought was dope. But when he did that kick, I said this is too similar. This is too much.
That might be though. You know how that is with wrestlers. There's it's always from like games and other stuff.
Yeah.
Like so, yeah. I think
I could be reaching, but it just would have reminded me of.
Yeah, no, I think you on to something with that. I think you definitely are. All right, but let's go ahead and keep going up into this, man. I love this right here. All right, let's talk about this right here. Now, look, this was good. I love to see this Blake Monroe and Jackson Drake beating Tatum Paxton and Shiloh Hill in the mixed tag team match. Love what they did with Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe got a North American title. Hers is pretty dope. All right, I like how they got the pink with the red and the black and all. I was like, yeah, that's a dope title. Even though she ain't winning, it ain't real title. But the fact that Vanity Project got her that, I thought was great. Love seeing the chemistry between Shiloh Hill, Tatum Paxley. This was just great. I love this. Then we flash forward. Come on now. Yeah. Matter of fact, come on, man. Come on, man. Man, come on. Callie Armstrong? Man, if y'all don't know about Callie, man, come on, man. The very first Evolve Women's Champion. All right. Now, I ain't gonna lie, they kind of pissed me off how they did on NXT. You know, you had Evolve Champion, she was on there. You had her lose first night being on there. I said, well, what the hell is that about? All right. Then Kendall Gray get the title. Oh, let's put her in match. Look, I ain't gonna say nothing about it. But look, I ain't gonna, it look a little sus to me. Anyway, okay, Callie Armstrong talked about her making her debut on NXT. Talked about her run on the ball. I said, Callie, come on, talk that talk. I know what you can do. Show these women up on here what Callie Armstrong's all about. Think about her promo though. She talked about how she was on food stamps, all this other stuff. Now, what I will say is this. I'm okay. You know, we talk about that struggle. Ain't nothing wrong talking about that grind. You know, I'm all for it. You know, that's going to happen. You're going to talk about that. But my thing is with this, right? This is my thing about it. Because I ain't like how that happened. Right? My whole thing with this is, you know, Keanu Carver told me, I ain't going back to the hood. I ain't going back. I said, okay, I get that. Callie saying damn near the same thing. It's like, is this like the new thing we kind of pushing? Like, let's talk about the. I was like, you know, I get it. You know, you want to make it relate, you want to make it real. Not all of us is living like that, though. So, I mean, I think this is where we need to get some more diversity in that writer's room. Okay, so we can just stop thinking all of us come from a damn Tyler Perry play. All right, that's that's all I'm saying about that. I thought that was a little sus, but hey, again, Callie, you like that. I know that we seen you in the ring, and I love her promo skills, so I'm hoping to see some greatness out of her. Oh man, but let's go ahead and keep it going, man. Let's flash forward to this. Look, Lola Vice, the Latina. Like, come on, man. Look, talked about when she first got to NXT in 2022. Thought she was the hottest signing. I said, okay, I can see that in a lot of different ways why some people would say that. I get that. That's a fact, okay? Then she talked about how she thought she should have been won, you know, the NXT title coming up. But she said how she got humbled real quick and she learned and she grinded and she fought for it. And she said this was the perfect time for her to win. I thought it was interesting how she got kind of how got the belt set up on her. You know, she got two belts. I said, man, I know there was another woman that was doing that same thing when she had 13 titles. But I ain't gonna say nothing about that. Some people ain't ready for that conversation, especially the tribalists out there. But what I loved about this, Fatal Influence. JC Jane coming out talking about she wants a rematch immediately. She don't give a damn about none of that stuff that Lola Vice is talking about. Lola talking about, look, I'm in a different type of mode right now. So it don't matter if it's you or with Fatal Influence, I'm gonna take you all out. Robert Stone. All right. Somehow, some way, I don't know what kind of respect my man be getting, but Rob, I ain't gonna lie, man. They be dragging your damn name through the mud. They don't give a damn about you, Rob. But it's all right. Rob comes out, tells Lola, tells JC Jane, you want a rematch? It's happening at Revenge. Then they get that. You get that information. All of a sudden, Fatal Influence didn't take no time trying to beat the hell out of Lola Vice. That didn't do nothing. Lola kind of maneuvering her way up out of it, beating the hell out of Laney Reed, beating the hell out of Fallon Haley, almost hitting her finisher on JC Jane. And Fatal Influence manages to escape, and it's Lola holding both titles up. And this is the finish, right? Sean, you cooked up as always, man. I ain't mad about not a damn thing. Love how the show was. Again, I think one of my favorite parts of the match had to be that triple threat match with Josh Briggs, Keanu Carver, the YN Crash Out, and Jasper Troy. But honestly, yeah, that was probably one of my favorite matches that happened. To see those three big men just going crazy, I think that was one of my favorites. Also, the birthright. Come on, y'all keep cooking. I love this. I love every single thing about this, man. Look, I loved it all. Also, another thing I got to talk about because I'm kind of mad they ain't throwing on it because I was thinking about. I said, damn, how the hell did I not get this one? But I'm gonna talk about it real quick. Jada Parker. Okay, she cut a promo. I said, come on, Miss Parker, you put that talking about my girl, Lonnie, man. Look, I said, okay, it's getting heated. Jada told me, look, I told you it's on site when I see you. I ran down on Lonnie at the Performance Center. Lonnie out here talking to got the boy. They start scrapping. Everybody trying to break them. I ain't gonna lie, Lonnie. You was the you. I ain't gonna lie. You might be on the list, and I ain't talking Chris Jericho when I say that. Being some of the top 5 runners in pro wrestling, because you ran the hell out of that Performance Center, Lonnie. I said that. Then Lonnie in the car, Jada Parker. And this was on Instagram Live, by the way. People ain't see this. Jada Parker out here trying to get into the car. Lonnie talking about, leave me alone. You're crazy. I said, come on, Lonnie. I said, I like what you're doing here. This is good. You know, you playing a little innocent, but you know damn well you the ones talking. Come on, look. You know, when it comes to Lonnie and Jada, probably another one of my favorites. Right now, Lonnie, you killed it when it came to you and Lola. So I know when it comes to you and Jada, y'all done had a little history before. Y'all about to kill this one. And I can't wait for it. And then again, Lola, I got a lot of hope for this whole thing with Lola Vice and this title reign. You know, I think JC James probably going to lose that match at Revenge, but I'm very curious as to see who's going to be up next to go up against Lola. I really am. Honestly, ain't going to lie. I mean, you just beat her at Vengeance Day. So you might as well go ahead and just bring back my girl, Lonnie, man. Go ahead and just have Lonnie. Just go ahead and feud with her. You might as well. The story's already there. Lonnie she just toxic as hell, beating the hell out of everybody. Go ahead, Lonnie. You might as well go. You think you can beat her? Come on. You done won some of the other titles. Get that big one. Pause. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
For the sake of time, NXT, another great week, entertaining from beginning to end, 365 days in a year.
Come on,
absolutely loved it. Kelly Armstrong, seeing her, kind of, start to make her herself known to the NXT world. That's going to be dope. She knows she's joining one of the strongest women's divisions that there is in professional wrestling, which is phenomenal. I'm excited for her and see how they kind of do her and how her character develops in NXT, especially among this women's division that we know is stacked. When you're talking about a Sol Ruka, when you're talking about a Kalani Jordan, you're talking about Lola Vice and Zarya and so on and so forth, JC Jane and all of them. So it's a deep women's division in NXT. So I'm really interested to see how she carves out her niche in that division. Love what they're doing with Tony D, him being a champion, but still I got to give it to Pretty Ricky, what they call him, Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. Still loving how they are still playing on their feud of being friends, but just this comedic element of them really not liking each other or wanting to concede to each other the spotlight and the right to be the next number one contender for the NXT championship. Love how they're doing that there, but overall NXT just great. Keanu Carver doing his thing. Just great work all the way around. It's not it's not a surprise when you talk about NXT and what Shawn Michaels is able to do. And my one last thing I want to throw in there, this thing with the double titles between Blake Monroe and Tatum Paxley. Yeah. I think I see where this is going to go. It's it's nothing hasn't been done before, but eventually it's going to become a problem of, well, what's the real North American championship? Who's the real North American champion? And then I can see it already. I just envisioned it, just the two titles hanging up and they're climbing to see who's the real North American champion, because it starts like this, where this replica belt is introduced and then this person starts carrying it and, it starts to, they start to just repeat that they're the real North American champion. But I love the pairing of Blake Monroe with the Vanity Project. And I really wish they would have the Vanity Project, Blake Monroe, Ethan Page, and Ricky Saints all together in a group and just call it Vanity. Like that would just be dope, just because they all have that same type of personality.
Yeah.
They're all vain, like very much into themselves. And it's just I liked it. And I like it when they were doing that, for a little bit. They had them all together, Vanity Project, Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. Then you throw Blake Monroe in there. Oh my gosh. I think they could really have a dope group with all of them together. So, but yeah, that I like where they're going with this introduction of the new North American title that Blake Monroe has been carrying.
Yeah.
And the story that can come from it,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a real good one. But I agree. I think you're right about that ladder match. I could definitely see that. Like, hey, I ain't gonna lie though. That one that Blake got that one's tough.
It's dope.
That's a tough belt, boy.
Yeah.
Sean Diva, what's your thoughts, girl? What you think?
Not trash. I was more amused with NXT than anything. Y'all said it. We watched NXT. So I'm really like invested sitting there. I'm still trying to figure out the wrestlers. Now, I did have a question for y'all. So what's the whole group of people that was fighting, I think the first match? The state.
Oh, you talking about Dark State?
Dark State?
Yes, Dark State. Well, who's their leader? I was confused. Like, who's the leader? And all those people are a part of Dark State that came and attacked?
Yeah. It's the four of them. I don't know if they really have a leader.
They don't. They say there's no leader, but it's like Dion
Lynch
doing
is
stuff.
Kind of acting like one, or like acting like the leader, but Sugar.
I used to think it was Saquon.
Sugar.
I'm just telling y'all.
There's something there. I don't know, but they've never really had a leader. They've always just been the four of them, and they've been more destructive and just like on the same page. So that it was never really a leader among them per se.
So that it's four, but it's more people that are in the Dark State.
It's just those four. Nope, it's just them four. Yeah.
What am I getting confused for? Maybe I was just tired. Because I thought
unless you think about Seth's minions, you know how that go. They all kind of
that's what I started. I was giggling. I was like, "Is this another?" But I really NXT is. I love Tatum. I love her. I don't know why I love her, and especially Keelani and Miss Parker. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing.
Yeah.
Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I'm more excited watching that, and their stories make sense. Yeah. And it keeps me, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, next week, what do we have?
Yeah.
Not trash.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Keep it up, Sean.
Yeah, man. Look, Sean, I'm telling you, you the only floating thing in this sinking company, right? I'm telling you, man, it's a damn. I ain't gonna say it's a damn shame, but it is a damn shame. The man that has to do everything for y'all. I mean, come on. I don't know what else to say. Sean, just keep cooking like you always been, man. We proud of you. And we thank you for what you be doing for the young and up-and-coming talent, because you get them ready.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just mess it up. So, I mean, again, you're doing your part. You're stirring the pot. You're cooking it up. You're really the chef.
You're kicking kids.
Hey, that's super. I'm telling you. That's super. You don't give a damn. Sean do what he want to do. He'll do what we want to do. But, we talked about a lot of the great things happening with NXT. Now it's time to talk about the part of the end of the week. Friday Night SmackDown, man. Jesus Christ. Friday Night SmackDown, man. Friday Night SmackDown, man. Jesus Christ. There were some benefits. There were some things that I thought was interesting that came out of SmackDown. I can't just completely trash it. Because there were some things I said, that's interesting. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about it, because they kicked this off. First of all, I mean, Jesus. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this, man. They kicked this off immediately with Alexa Bliss going up against Bayley. Alexa Bliss beating Bailey. I mean, honestly, you had the interference with Charlotte Flair. You had Lyra Valkyria, Charlotte throwing the jacket on Bailey. Lyra Valkyria trying to sit in there and help, Bailey, but Charlotte sitting there beating the hell out of Valkyria. I said, all right, oh, we just go ahead and keep doing this. But honestly, again, this is the build up for the fatal four-way tag match that's going on for the women at Mania. So see what happens on that build up to that. Let me flash forward. Come on now. About damn time, okay? About damn time. We seen the debut of Royce Keys, and really because they was in San Jose on SmackDown. So man being from California. Again, I said this before. I'm gonna say this again. Look, y'all can't keep sitting here and just using the whole struggle thing as a story. Okay. Again, you use Keanu Carver. I get it. He from DC, Baltimore area. It gets rough. You did it with Cali. I get it. She's from Cali. She's from Inglewood, I believe so. So I get it. Now we did it with Royce Keys. He's also from Cali, from LA. So I think he's from Compton, actually. I'm gonna double check and look into that. But yeah, I mean, again, you can't keep using the struggles. I'm telling you, we're not just a bunch of Tyler Perry plays. I'm gonna tell you right now. All right. But yes, Royce Keys getting the dub on Berto. Okay. Then we flash forward. Now I thought this was good. Pat McAfee. Now I will say this might have been one of my favorite parts, and not this part here. I'm talking about the part where Pat McAfee was actually cutting the promo. I think his promo was better than CM Punk's this week. I think some of the stuff he said was like, oh, damn. Like, he talked about CM Punk getting that Saudi Arabia check. I said, okay, talk some real stuff now. But again, I'm still wondering, where does this go for Pat and and that's what doesn't make sense. Where does this go with Pat McAfee, CM Punk, Randy Orton? Like, what? I don't know. But Cody coming out, okay? As soon as he's coming out, Randy, you see Randy right there on the screen. He's calling Cody, trying to get Cody's attention. He's got Jelly Roll. Man, I said, well, I mean, this makes sense. They keep trying to make it seem like, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll been friends for like years. And it's like, bro, y'all only know each other because he's a singer. All right, let's cut the BS out. But then Randy Orton drags Jelly Roll out. Okay. Then Randy goes ahead and runs to the back. As he runs to the back, Pat McAfee does this weird thing where he's kind of sneaking up on Cody. Cody turns around. Pat runs away. Well, he kind of starts to lure Cody Rhodes up to the ring. And Randy runs down and hits the hell out of Cody and starts to beat the hell out of Cody. Then at that point, I mean, it just got to the point where they just beat the hell out of him. And then Jelly Roll somehow, someway gets up, comes back. But again, that meant absolutely nothing because they beat the hell out of him and they still beat the hell out of Cody. And that's just how that was with that. Then we flash forward. I thought this was actually pretty good too. With Jacob and Drew McIntyre, man. Honestly, this whole situation here, him handcuffing Jacob. I mean, this is to the point to where, again, I've said this before, I'll say this again. Second year in a row, you just got Drew McIntyre just on this revenge tour because he didn't get his title. And I hate that that's the case. Okay, we are doing this. My damn near might be the third year in a row because it's like with 40, he won the title and lost it that fast. And that was his whole story. And then we got from him winning the title and him feuding with Jacob Fatu. And we still don't even know. We just assume now that Drew is the one that attacked Jacob. We just went with that safe option. Anyway, now we flash forward to the best part of the damn night. And that probably, of course, because I'm talking about Hollywood Trick, Two Brand Trick, First Class Trick, Trick and Nate, Trick Willie. Yeah, man. Come on. Look, Trick was out there with Yachty, talking that talk. I thought this was great right here. But, Sammy trying to tell Trick, I'm walking in the Mania as a champion. I'm walking out. People was booing the hell out of Sammy. Sammy cut a little promo talking about where my real Sammy fans at. They didn't have none of the damn crowd because ain't none of us here backing you, bruh. We know what you did. You snaking. We ain't banging with you. I'm gonna tell you right now, Sammy, I ain't with it. I ain't with it. I ain't a supporter no more. You ain't gonna do what you did to my man Melo and think I'm backing y'all. Hell no, I'm not with it. I'm sorry, not sorry. But look, what I loved about it, Trick telling Sam, look, I'm about to show you this is about to be different. I've been different. But what I loved about it, Trick was getting ready, and you know how it is with Trick. Trick, man, getting the dub. First of all, beat the hell out of Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona out here looking like a jobber, man. I know he want to be with his wife. But yeah, my man is out here just being a damn jobber. Okay. Just just insane work coming from him. But then what I love we gotta flash forward to this. I thought this was hilarious right here. Okay, we had Danhausen going up against Kid Wilson. Okay, getting the dub on
This is
Kid
toxic.
Wilson. Toxic masculinity at its best. And I love how he did that, man. He literally just used his quote unquote trick shot. Well, it's his quote unquote his powers, I guess, as you would say, to curse Kid Wilson, sparking up the pyro, then honestly getting the pin on Kid Wilson. I thought this was hilarious. And then we flash forward to the main event where we had Jay Cargill beating EO Sky, and honestly, to the point to where, Ian Sky is getting pummeled by Jade, and then, we get back into the ring. Rhea is just literally just gets into the ring to prevent Cargill to stop Jade Cargill from attacking EO Sky with a steel chair. And that's pretty much it. And this is the finish right here. So, yeah, man. Look, I ain't gonna lie. This was not a crazy. It wasn't a crazy SmackDown. I thought the match with Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, that was a good match. Of course, that leading into Drew attacking Jacob, I thought that was good. Of course, but again, we talking about Drew and Jacob. Like that's bound to be great. Um, Trick, come on, man. You did your thing. You killed it. I loved everything about that. I would probably say the best. One of my favorite parts would probably would be Pat McAfee though. I'm not gonna lie, that promo he cut, I thought was a hell of a good promo. I thought, I say, if you're gonna cut a promo against Punk, you didn't tell a damn lie. Called him a fraud. Talked about, you a corporate man, Punk. All this. I said, yeah, come on, Pat. I said, you talking the same way I be talking. I said, yeah, talking, yeah. You couldn't boo nothing that Pat McAfee was talking about. I said, nah, this man ain't saying nothing but the truth. And then y'all plugged in the 25% off night one for night one. He said, don't worry about night two.
I was like, that's the surprise. That's the surprise.
Yep.
Like, come on. But then he said, don't worry about night two. Night two's going to be trash. I said, damn, that's crazy. Like, they really let him say what he want to say. I said, well, hey, I get it. But yeah, I mean, again, SmackDown, it is what it is with that. I think those are probably my favorite parts of the night. Again, if we talk about the week, NXT did it for me truly. Well, NXT and of course, Dynamite. I'll be capping if I ain't talking about what they doing with their greatness. Heartbreak Prince, what are your thoughts, man? What you think?
Hey, Cole, real talk. A surprise would be 75% off.
Hey, come on now. Hey, I was talking to my man Polo. Shout out to Polo from the Square Circle Boys.
Hey, Polo, what up?
I said, look, if them tickets down $100, I'm going. I said, it ain't $100 a night, I'm going. I don't care.
No, really quick. SmackDown, not a whole lot to write home about. Of course, Trick, doing his thing. That always makes it interesting. I actually like the little back and forth that happened at the end between Trick and Sammy. Again, I don't know if Little Yachty is necessary in this situation. I wish he just would have came out maybe at WrestleMania and helped, do the hype, for Trick when he makes his entrance, and let that be that. But him being a part of it, I feel like it just takes away from what was already there. I'm just he doesn't seem to have, it just doesn't seem to be the right place for it to me. Anyhow, Drew, Drew and what's my boy
Jacob.
Fatu. The Fatu. Them two together. This was really good as far as the promo that Drew cut from being in jail. Talking about Fatu and his history and him choosing a life of crime over his kids, that type of thing. Drew just takes it there. And it's something to the psychology of him as a heel that you kind of appreciate because he's willing to kind of go out in the deep end and not necessarily play it safe. And I think that's what makes him, good at being a heel. And why we kind of, wanted him to stay the WWE champion because he's doing a great job as the heel. But they got him in the feud that he's in right now. But bringing out the handcuffs just to kind of, snap back into to Fatu being a convict or whatever, and then giving them a beat down there. Absolutely love it because I know, Fatu will get his in and he will get his redemption arc, just like he's gotten his redemption arc in life. And so the story there, I'm kind of feeling, I'm kind of, into, especially with the way, Drew has been taking it that extra mile. And I know it's all got to come back to him at the end. At least I hope at WrestleMania, and Fatu comes out on top. But it was a dope. That was a SmackDown. Pat McAfee. I know there's a lot of frustration with him being involved, and the vibe and the feel again, sort of like Yachty, of Pat McAfee taking away from the work that Randy Orton was already doing. To kind of make this match, that 20-year history between him and Cody, that build up, make it WrestleMania worthy. For him snapping, listening to the voices, giving Cody a beat down, all that kind of stuff. And now we've interjected Pat McAfee in it, and he's now become the mouthpiece of like Randy Orton, and Randy Orton is kind of like to the side a little bit, and it's kind of like taken away from it, and it's just. Again, I just don't think it was necessary. It's another time where we've interjected a celebrity. I like Pat McAfee, and I know the man can talk, and I like the fact that he addressed CM Punk, CM Punk's takedown of him on SmackDown yesterday from what CM Punk said about him on Monday. So I like the fact that we did get to hear Pat's side of things and what he had to say back. Again, I think it's all hypocrisy. So for whatever that's worth. I just wish that WWE would just stick with the wrestlers doing what the wrestlers need to do to build for their matches at WrestleMania. And I don't think Yachty, I don't think Pat McAfee, I don't think Jelly Roll is necessary in some of these matches because they are already the top matches. We don't need Pat McAfee because Randy Orton and Cody is already enough to sell their match. We don't need Jelly Roll. We don't need Yachty. I think the feud between Sami Zayn and Trick is already there. We don't need the extra push. But it is what it is. But outside of that, I don't know how I felt about the Jade and Io Sky thing, just because Rhea Ripley, I guess has never beaten Io Sky for I know for the championship. But I think Io Sky's undefeated against Rhea Ripley. Period. And Jade just made kind of short work of her. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like I don't know. Some of the stuff I don't know. I don't know where they're going. I don't know what the plan is. And I just think that this has lost its steam because you got Rhea, who, rumor has it, politic to be back in the women's championship match again at WrestleMania. Then you got Jade, and then bringing on the baddies. At this point in time, this late into her run, it's just lost a lot of steam, and there's the hype for it, the build up for it. It's just not doing it. And I think this right here really missed Bianca Belair for this moment, and I think this is what it should have been. And it was Jade and Bianca, and I think this would be more interesting than what it is. And it's sad because Jade is a phenomenal is a good wrestler. I'm not gonna say phenomenal, but Rhea is a phenomenal wrestler. And so it's not like they're bad wrestlers. It's just that they just don't have the to me, just the story, the history, the feud is just not there to really get it to where it needs to be for WrestleMania. And I wish Bianca was involved and back and healthy. I would love to see what this feud could have been or what this match could have been, especially for Jade at WrestleMania. And that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Sean Diva, what's your thoughts, girl? What you think?
Trash.
All right. Well, that's it. No.
It's trash. No, I mean, it did have some highlights, like basically Jacob and Drew. Absolutely love that. Pat McAfee, I'm just still like, why are you here? Jelly Roll, why are you here? Little Yachty, why are you here? Why?
Oh, and I forgot Astro Speed, but yeah.
Yeah, and that too. Why? Y'all are not adding to the story. To me, it's a distraction. You just there, being there. When they announced EO and Jade at the beginning that they were gonna, I'm like, why? Nobody don't want to see that. Y'all want to do that as a man? I don't want to see that. Why? Why are we doing this?
Come on, Nicole. Tell them that it's human nature.
It's human nature.
Come on,
and
Mike.
And I just need them to. And are we gonna go back to who? Because the feud between Jacob and Drew is because Jacob believes Drew is the one that beat him up. Who beat Jay up? Are y'all gonna go ahead and
stop? I don't think you ever gonna get that answer.
We're never gonna find that out. Yeah. We ain't never gonna find
that story. That storyline been forgotten.
Yeah, just as fast as the PLA the night before. I'll tell you that.
And Danhausen, when I'm telling y'all, when when he first came out of the little box, I was pissed. I was like, "Who is this? What is he doing?" But he's very comical. I enjoy him, and I enjoyed to see him wrestle. I would like to see more of that, please.
Yeah,
that was amusing.
Danhausen has made a nice 180, like with the public, right, or with his reception. I agree, Diva.
Right, and that's it. I should be on pins and needles for WrestleMania. I am not. The only thing that's got me on pins and needles, let's be honest, Oba and Brock. That's the only thing.
Come on now.
That's it. Everything else is like meh. And Jacob, I can't say Jacob and Drew. And Randy and Cody. But that's pretty much it.
That first week where he flipped, that was they had captured it right there. They because everybody's like, oh, we're gonna get the old Randy back. He's gonna start punting people
and play into the voices. Pat could have been one of the voices. Maybe you have somebody else with the voices. Or he's not talking to anybody because again, somebody with 28 and a half people in them. We talk to each other. We tap each other in.
Yeah.
So he could have just been talking to you, thinking it's somebody he was talking to. He's talking to himself.
Right, so who you talk to? Oh, I ain't talking to nobody. Oh God, man!
A voice told me to put the phone in my ear.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I feel you though, Sean Diva. I 100% agree. What I will say is this: I'll probably just say this for real. I was watching the Joe Budden podcast. Let me see what Nicole talking about.
Yeah, my bad.
Pins and needles. Hey, chill. Hey, come on, Nicole. You ain't tell a damn lie. This is.
She loves some Roman. She loves some Roman.
That's what I'm talking about. No, but what I will say is this: I was watching the Joe Budden podcast, and Jade Cargill was on it. I'm not even gonna lie. Some of the stuff on there was damn near embarrassing. Y'all played Hulk Hogan. That's enough as it is. For the ones that know, you already know that's a problem within itself. That's a whole nother can of worms. But she explained some of the plans that was supposed to happen for Mania. Apparently, she said that the bill And the story was supposed to be for her and Charlotte because she said, we've been kind of building this, kind of been setting this up,
I
but
think that would have been nice
that because we've been
because
seeing that with them.
they already had that feud with each other. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was already kind of starting there. It was already building. There's plenty of times when Jade interrupts Charlotte, Charlotte interrupts Jade. They're sitting yelling back and forth, all this stuff. So that looked like it was like, okay, this might be a WrestleMania. But she also then explained that they brought Rhea in because what was they more concerned about? They ain't worried about the damn story. They just want to sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
They said, we want to make more money. How else could we do it? If we bring Rhea Ripley in here, that would be a bigger draw. I said,
Is
y'all
it though?
sacrifice story for sales.
Mm.
And look where
Now,
it's
Charlotte and Jade, that I would want to see because they were hinting at it again.
Mm-hmm.
When you're watching and I'm a person of detail. When I'm watching, I'm like, oh, okay. I would like to see that. Give me more, please. Sir, can I please have some more?
Yeah, and at this point, I wouldn't mind if it was a triple threat with Rhea and Charlotte, and
That would
just
be
because
good.
I think you have more of a story there with Charlotte, so you could at least have Charlotte and Jade going at it a little bit. Like I feel like we're never going to get that at this point because if or should I say when Jade loses the title at WrestleMania, all of that picking at Charlotte and holding the belt up in her face when Charlotte's making her entrance and just the back and forth them two have had over the last couple of years. It's all for naught. Like you're not going to ever really find out like who's who among each other in that match, that type of match.
Yes.
Like I said, it just wasn't there with Rhea, and it was just like she was inserted into that spot of being the number one contender to Jade, when I think Charlotte probably should have been in the Elimination Chamber, and Charlotte should have won the Chamber, just so you can have that back and forth between Charlotte and Jade.
My call said, tired of seeing the tie.
Same, Nicole.
Why?
Same.
Why? Hey, what's up, girl?
Thanks for joining us. How you doing?
Good to see you on there joining us as always, girl. But yeah, man. It's just it's just crazy because the fact that Jay said that, I was like, yeah, this will be a bigger draw. They want to make money. That's kind of all it is. Jay says she want to bring more eyes and more things onto the company. She said, yeah, we should have a baddie section. She said, how much more money can you make when you bring some baddies in? I said, well, you ain't told a damn lie, Jade. You bring some baddies in, the money just going to be flowing. That just had to go,
If she could add to the baddies, and let me tell you who she could add to the baddies with, she could do either Jada or she could do Kehlani.
That would be good.
That
would put them right on in there.
Miss Parker would be my choice, but yeah.
Definitely have. Yeah, look, they would.
And the story that can come out of that, because Miss Parker ain't gonna stay an underling for too long.
Right.
Nah.
You can clock that.
She's like, clock that. I said,
I do, Nicole.
Yeah,
Jada. I do.
Honestly, I hope so.
I hope
so.
I would love to see her make an apparence.
Me too. We
take that braid and give a whipping to some people.
Just something, please. Yeah. Honestly, that'd probably be the biggest pop they get out of Mania.
Right. Yeah. What my prediction is, and this is just if I was writing, have Bianca come out and cost Jade the match. Cost her match with Rhea. That would make that so much interesting, because then now you're going to have to tune in to keep seeing what happens. Yes.
She's going to whoop that trick.
Hey, you stupid.
Yes.
Oh, my God, man.
I probably would go the opposite way with it. When I think about it, I would have Bianca come out and interfere for Jade to win, because I want to see Jade and Bianca for the title. That would be my big thing. I want Jade Bianca to be the one to have to take Jade down to get the title.
And then
But
we know Naomi's on maternity leave. So then when she comes back,
that would be like yes. Because I'm thinking about, I'm just thinking about my girl Naomi and the proceed with caution. Oh my, I see it. Her coming back, picking up from the craze that she left off on the that laugh. Oh my. Yeah. Stephanie Velcro. Hey, my girl was wild. Naomi was wild before she left.
She's however you pronounce it.
However you pronounce it.
I
don't understand the word you just said.
I don't know what you just said.
So whatever your name is.
Oh my God, man. Naomi was crazy. But yeah, no, I agree. They need to do something with that. I think y'all can come back. Helps, in a way, doesn't even have to really aid Jade, but in a way, it comes to the point where Jade wins because we really want to see Bianca and Jade for that. Yeah.
I like how you think.
Yeah. I would love that. I think that'd be great because then you can do a whole lot for that. You can do a whole lot for that. Hey, what's up, Lucky?
Lucky.
All right.
That is my husband. Hey, boo.
No, I love it.
Hey, love to see the support.
Yes, absolutely love it.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Oh, man. But, we talked about some of these. We had I'll be capping. There were some good points that we got out of this week. Not everything was trash, but again, if we was on the playground and we on a damn seesaw.
Yeah.
I mean, the trash to good. Yeah.
We're on the balance, the judgment balance.
That's my new thing. How did you feel?
Justice.
Trash.
Trash. I love that.
But it's funny because I think WWE knows the situation they're in, and I think that's why CM Punk, Pat McAfee, they're out here talking about it just openly. They know.
Yeah.
They're at least they're self-aware, I guess. And hopefully this just helps them better prepare for next year to get back to doing things to appeal and keep their hardcore fandom, their ride or die fandom down. Like I said, I know they talk, trash about the way Vince priced things and how much money I guess they felt he was leaving on the table, but those seats stayed full. And people were able to go to WrestleMania and enjoy it without it, setting their family back, generations for a 2-night show or a 1-night show.
I mean, talking about lower the ticket prices for the needy families. I say, yo, come on, bro.
I know.
I was like, that's crazy. I was like, I ain't needy. I'm just not about to pay 10 bands for trash. Like, I'm not about to do it. I'm not paying $10K for them trash. No. Come on, bro.
Now gas $4.50. Oh no.
Nah. I ain't doing that.
I'm with you, Ashley. 2 stars for this week.
Yeah, 2 stars.
Generous.
Yeah.
I love that. End it on trash. There we go.
Trash.
Hey, that's real. Yeah, he didn't say that. You right. Lord, my pay for the needy. Yeah, no, hell no.
No.
They still want their bread. That's how they gonna do that.
Yeah.
But we talked about some of the interesting things that happen on Raw, some of the great things that happen on NXT, and the mediocre ass things that happen on SmackDown. Y'all know how that was with that. Best parts for me, Oba, the Ruler, Lonnie and Jada, you know what I'm saying? And of course, Hollywood Trick, 2-brand Trick, First Class Trick, Trick and A, Trick Willie. Come on, man.
Here we go again.
And of course, I'd be capped if I ain't talking about the man with the magic boot, Jacob Fatu. Y'all did your things this week, man. Of course, Drew McIntyre doing great work. Can't lie, man. They all did some good stuff. But as always, man, please make sure y'all follow all of our social medias. I tell y'all this all the time. You already know what it is. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, on that as well. Hey, appreciate the love, man. We're looking at about over 700 followers on TikTok, and we just hit a little bit over 300 subscribers on YouTube. Man, look, appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Keep liking it up, keep subscribing it up. And y'all know what we're gonna do, man. Look, if y'all get up on the comments, you know we're gonna highlight it. You see what happened with Nicole, you see how she got up on it. You seen Sosa, you seen what he was saying, seeing Ashley, you see how they be doing, man. They always be talking. Usually Bland be here. We got a lot of people that be on here on, talking to the community. Man, yo, the more y'all comment, we're gonna highlight it. And y'all know what it is, man. Show us the love, we're gonna show y'all the love back, and we're gonna keep giving you that content the exclusive way. Come on, man. You already know what it is. Ah. But as always, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. We had the diva herself that's gonna give you the news that you can use, Sean Diva, and we had the one man and the only man that can check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. We are the exclusive nights, so we always ensure that we are the best there is, the best there was,
and the best there ever will be. The excellence of execution.
Come on now. And to ensure that your nights will never
be the same.
Y'all be good. And remember, that's tree.
Lemon Pepper Steppers out.